Full Velocity TV begins now.
Locked and loaded in live on a Friday night. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Full Velocity TV here live tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. Feel like I've been here before this week, but we're here tonight with 305 sprint car action for the guys over at HAR Motorsports. It is race number one of the Friday night 305 sprint car series, and we'll be locked and loaded the entire season right here live on Full Velocity TV. Good evening, everybody out there watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch TV. Phil LaCasse here along with Mr. Too Tall Todd Stan on the controls for us here on Full Velocity TV. And we have a big twin bill in store tonight. It starts off here, Todd, at the Knoxville Raceway. 305 sprint car action. I think we were here one night ago with the Gobbler with the street stocks, but it's Knoxville. You can't come to Knoxville and not see some sprint car racing.
No, definitely got to see some sprint car racing. 305 open setups here this evening. The wing version here tonight. Last night we seen the street stocks here for the Gobbler 100. Sprint cars here tonight. It's going to be a rather good show, I'm going to tell you what, Phil. I like these 305s, especially when they're open setups.
Oh, yeah. Open setups is a lot of fun with these guys. And this tonight is going to be this hot. Hope you guys are locked in. We start here live tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. And then about 9 p.m. Eastern time, about 8:45, more like it, we go back on the air. We make the quick jump over to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're going pavement racing. We are going IndyCar racing. It is a 9th annual version of the Indianapolis 500K being presented by the guys over at the Independent Online Racing League. A great bunch of guys over there. A race that has been run biannually here, you know, for the last couple of years. So tonight will be the 9th running of the race. That is going to be a great time in Indianapolis. But we start here, talk about two legendary racetracks on the docket, the Knoxville Raceway, starting out the evening with the 305 sprint cars. I believe we have 8 drivers in the pit area here tonight. This one gonna move along really, really fast, Todd. So we got to strap in, get on the edge of our seat, because we're already getting ready to go out there, rolling out into qualifying trim. So practice is already complete, just waiting for these guys to get to go out there and start making their 2 qualifying laps. We'll set the feature of the heat lineups here this evening. Great names in the house. Guys like Brett Rolls is here. Rick Gibson's in the house. Brett Wheeler, Torrin Shirts, Ron Piles, Joey Lamb. Great drivers in the field here tonight. These guys that have shown up, we are in for one solid treat here for a 25-lap feature event for 305 sprints here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. So coming off what was a historic week for us, Todd, we have been on the air every night for the last 6 nights, this being night 7 in a row. I know we're going to be ready for a little bit of a break, but we have 2 big ones on tap. And can you ask for any more legendary venues to start your night at than start at Knoxville and make the quick jump over into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? What a night we have on store. This is going to be a hot one.
Yeah, definitely going to be a hot one. Going to be something that you guys out there at Facebook Live, Twitch, or YouTube are not going to want to miss. So again, we will be going live with that around 9 o'clock or so for the Indy 500K. Cannot wait for that event either. Here tonight, we're with HAR Motorsports 305 Sprint Cars, waiting for these guys to get lined up for their qualifying efforts here tonight, Friday night. It's a cure for the Friday Night Fever here tonight, Phil. Double bill. I cannot believe it. I mean, back-to-back shows. Don't forget those star donations out there. Great star donations last night. The winner received a T-shirt courtesy of dirt-series.com. Got to thank Earl Clements and those guys out there. Giving a free T-shirt out to the guy who donated the most, which was Ron Piles, who's actually with us here this evening. Also got to thank Evil One Graphics. They're not only good, they're evil. Now coming aboard as a sponsor here on Full Velocity TV. Not even Phil knew that, but he did help out here a little bit with those star donations, and he asked if he could be, he didn't even ask. I'm doing it as a nice thing here, Phil. So Evil One Graphics here on our scroller here. Also Spotify Firearms, presenting sponsors here of Full Velocity TV.
Absolutely right. Got to take care of the guys that take care of us. Got to thank Brendan Spadafora. Got to thank Josh Smith, Earl Clements, Jameson Colbridge, the entire group over at DirtSeries.com, CNC Racing Designs, and also got to thank Jim and all the gang over at Evil One Graphics for coming aboard. That is a really cool deal. Those guys have been so supportive. Everybody out there has been supportive. All three of these guys, everybody out there watching, you guys are the absolute best. We are just so thrilled to have you guys all aboard here tonight. Just waiting for this event to get underway. A little bit behind the eight ball these guys are, as names still kind of drawing their way into the pit area as this series come together the last couple of weeks, getting guys all locked into the TeamSpeak server here so guys can all communicate. I've seen hot shoes like Shane Kelly just signed into the pit area. How about names like Brian Neff? Brian Neff's a really good race car driver out of Canada going out there tonight in the 305 sprint. So this one is just going to be amazing. Cannot wait here. Qualifying just about to get started. Practice is already complete. Quick time tonight looks like a lap of 17.597 was laid down by the number 15 car. Is that Chris Hayes, number 15. Got to get all these new names that I'm not familiar with into my scroller here as I only see one word, but Hayes is number 15, a 17.597. No, one better. Missed that. 17.586 in practice for Eric Tupper, whose name just kind of refreshed like the 115. So he was the quickest driver in practice with Hayes second. The only two drivers in the fives, 17.50, 17.689 for guys like Joey Lamb, a 17.650 for Rick Gibson. So just tracking a lot of speed with these guys in the 305s here tonight. They always talk about 305s, Todd, being those underpowered types of sprint cars, but I think by far these things are probably the most fun to drive, especially at a place like Knoxville.
Yeah, definitely. It is hammered down on these types of cars. You can do the setup, though, here tonight where that's an advantage to some of the guys. Setting the wing different is going to be a huge advantage here. When you're going to move your wing around here at Knoxville, when is the best opportune time. Some of these guys do different things. It does make it feel a little bit more comfortable as you move that wing. As the race goes on, that fuel burns off. That's when you kind of move that wing to the forward position. I start with Phil. Normally I start with it all the way back when I first start these races. So it's fantastic to see these guys coming to head here. It looks like a lot of the cars starting to pull down to pit road here for qualifying efforts here at Knoxville Speedway, and going to see these guys go live. And I almost want to say we're going to see if we can see these guys go green to checkered here this evening.
HAR Motorsports has certainly shown there when we were here at the Street Stock Series for the whole season on Saturday nights. That was a great time. These guys always put good racing on. They do a lot of what they do, Todd, here as far as qualification, heat races go. It all happens in a qualifying stage. So you're not going to see the great graphics, the tickers and stuff like we would normally see come race time. So qualifying is kind of like a free-for-all. Heat races, dash races, we do a manual lap count. We'll definitely screw that up probably about 8 or 9 times before we get feature racing. So if you guys are locked in here live on Full Velocity TV, enjoy the ride because we're about to take one all together this evening. This is a start of what is going to be a great night for us. Cars are starting to stage on the front stretch. I think the first one to go out here is scheduled to be the number 36 of Charles Hayes. I believe the 34, or the number 17 rather, of Brett Rolls is going to roll out here next. I see number assignments of these guys, and I think that was their pill draw. So we have a car on the speedway, and it looks like is that Eric Tupper's 115 out there on the racetrack. So he may be the first car taking time here in qualifying.
Oh, Phil, we also got Brett Rolls out there, the number 17 machine out there making some laps. He's the first guy to make the very first qualifying lap in that number 17 machine. So Gonna wait and see what's going to happen here. These guys are out there. Eric Chopper also out there for qualifying times. Going to see what these guys roll down here. Last time by, going to be in the number 1 position. Now Eric Chopper in with a 17.722. Brett Rolls with a 17.731. Going to see what Eric Chopper is going to get his second lap here. Same way with Brett Rolls. A little bit faster for Eric Chopper. 17.730. 730. Brett Rolls quick time here in Knoxville, a 17.714.
And that is even faster than he went in practice. So that is a great lap for Brett Rolls, a 17.714, putting him on the provisional pole here so far as time trials go. 17.721 for Eric Tupper's number 115. Now it looks like we got, is that Brett Wheeler and I believe Charles Hayes may be out on the racetrack of the 15. I think that's Brett Wheeler's 56. That's first car out there, Todd.
Yeah, it is Brett Wheeler, and I believe it's also the number... trying to look down through here, trying to see who it is. Yeah, it's Charles Hayes and Brett Wheeler here for their qualifying efforts out here at Knoxville Speedway, waiting for the number 15 to roll by. Going to see where he's going to end up. First lap, 17.742. 17.742 for Hayes. Going to see what's going to happen here for Brett Wheeler. Wheeler's first lap, 18.111. Good enough for fourth, 18.111 for Wheeler. Second lap here for the number 15 of Hayes. Going to be a little bit slower, 17.806. Let's see what Wheeler's got here. Brett Wheeler in the 56 machine, slicing by the start-finish line. Looks like he's going to be quicker here with a 17.788. That's going to be fourth quickest here on the board here. So right now we got 17.714, 17.722 by Chopper. Hayes is a 17.742, and Brett Wheeler, fourth quickest, with 17.788.
Waiting for the next car to roll out to the Speedway, and I do see one rolling. It looks like it is going to be Shane Kelly rolling out there in car number 19. We'll see what Shane could do. Also believe I have a second car out there. You caught a glimpse of that one there, Todd, as that rolled by. But I do indeed have the Shane Kelly car out there. Shane usually called number 7. We call him number 19 tonight here in the 305s. See what the first time out here is for Shane Kelly on that warm-up lap now into turn number 3. Shane didn't have any time here in practice, so this is going to be the first true lap on the racetrack in race conditions for the 19 car. Lap number 1 at the line, 18.002, 18 flat here for the 19 car of Shane Kelly, currently 5th quick, and Joey Lamb clocks in a 17.796, so 5th and 6th for both of those drivers. We'll see what Shane Kelly's got out of turn number 2. Second lap, going to go on the board a little bit quicker, 17.757, 17.757, put Shane Kelly 4th, waiting on the second lap now for Joey Lamb, and he goes third to the board, 17.739, 17.739 for Joey Lamb. A great lap, puts him third so far here in time trials.
As cars continue to file in here for this event, some more cars coming out onto the Speedway here for their qualification efforts. Just waiting to see who that is. I believe it's going to be the 29 of Rick Gibson out there on the Speedway, and also one other car out there. I believe it's going to be Cody, nope, definitely not Cody McKnight.
That's Torrin Shirts, Todd. Torrin Shirts in the 33.
Out there in the 33. So Rick Gibson here waiting for his time. He's normally pretty quick here at Knoxville. See what he can pedal this number 29 machine to here first time by. Just waiting for timing and scoring as he's going to flash by that start finish line. Torrin Shirts with a 17.810, 17.810. And that is quick time by Rick Gibson, 17.683, 17.683 for Rick Gibson. Tell you what, Phil, he was one of those guys coming into this night I thought was going to be able to pull off the pole. And that's Rick Gibson, a little bit slower this time by 17.706. But quick time here for Rick Gibson knocks Brett Rolls off the pole.
Sure does. Torrin Shirts' second lap was a little bit slower as well, a 17.859. So Torrin Shirts, the 8th of our 8 qualifiers so far. Next one looks like coming out. I see the 111 of Cody McKnight's car rolling, so I know at least he's coming to the Speedway, and I believe we may have a second car about to roll. I'm trying to locate. I believe it's Brian Neff's car number 60 out there as well. So we have Neff, we have Cody McKnight out to the Speedway. We'll see who's going to hit the line first here. It looks like it's going to be Neff's number 60 putting the first lap to the board. So waiting for that to clock in as he's now working his way through turn number 2 on his exit lap. Cody McKnight waiting for both of these drivers to post sometimes here up to the board. We have the 60 car of Brian Neff from Canada out of turn number 4, waiting for his first lap to go up there on the time. Slowest there, 18.247. Cody McKnight clocked in a little tad bit quicker with a 17.930. So both those drivers need to pick up a little bit of speed here if they want to get a better draw for their heat racing action. Lap number 2 going on the board for McKnight. Little tad bit slower at 18.015. Brian Neff's second lap, a little bit quicker, but not good enough, 18.146. So those guys will round out 9th and 10th on the board is here in qualification. So I believe 3 more drivers left to take time. I believe we have Ron Piles, number 68. I believe Stephen Gregory's number 5, maybe also now on the racetrack. And I believe I just saw the 86 of Derek Fedkenhauer roll out there as well. So Gregory and Fedkenhauer are 2 cars going to take time here, Todd.
Yeah, Stephen Gregory here just putting down his throwaway lap, his warm-up lap here in that number 5 machine. He's down the back straightaway. He's going to be the first one to take time here. Coming out of turns number 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, we're going to see what time the Stephen Gregory machine is going to come down with. It's going to be an 18.092, 18.092 for Stephen Gregory in that number 5 machine. Looks like the 86 of Fedkenhauer a little bit loose. Waiting to see what Ron Piles puts on for his very first lap. Ron Piles with a time of 18.179, 18.179. That's good enough for 12th quick. Fedkenhauer, 21.894. 894 for Fedkenhauer also out there. It looks like Brian Neff or Stephen Gregory chimes in with an 18.092 Phil to get himself up to 10th. Ron Piles now is 17.816, good enough for 9th. Just waiting to see what Fedkenhauer can come out with here. The last lap here for him, 18.453, 18.453, the slowest time of the evening.
Tell you why this guy, Todd Stanton, is the best of the best as far as guys to be up here in the booth with and call the race with. He is on the money right there. Not only they gave you 2, they gave you 3 cars out there. They stuck that last one out there. Great job with that call. So 13 drivers have taken time. Qualifying is complete, and it's Rick Gibson going to pick up our quick qualifying time here tonight. Fast qualifier with a lap of 17.682. Brett Rolls second quick with a 17.714, 17.721 for the 115 of Eric Tupper. Fourth quick will be the 81 of Joey Lamb with a 17.739 and a 17.742 for Charles Hayes at our 15. That is your fast 5 here tonight at HAR Motorsports. 13 drivers in the pit area. Now I think we're just waiting for those lineups to come out through the pill draw. We're going to get heat number 1 on the racetrack here in just a quick order.
The only guys I've seen down in the 6s here tonight, Rick Gibson, that number 29 machine. So we're going to see what he has. Pole sitter there, the number 29 machine. So like you said, Phil, got to wait for the pill draw to come down. Where they're going to start here in the heat races. We're sitting at about 7:52 p.m. Eastern time here. Just waiting for these guys to get rolling out onto the Speedway. 13 cars, not a bad showing here for HAR Motorsports in the 305 Sprint Cars Open setups. If you want to get involved in HAR Motorsports, check them out on Facebook, HAR Motorsports. Ask for Ron Piles or any one of the great guys like Brett Rolls, Eric Tupper, heavily involved here. Ron Piles, Eric Tupper, Brett Rolls. Those are the guys that I really know that have a lot to do with HAR. They'll get you hooked up. They'll get you here in this 305 Sprint Car Series, and it's going to be broadcasted each and every Friday night, Phil.
It's going to be a great time, and thrilled to be a part of this one as well. These guys at HAR do a great job. Piles, Eric, Brett, the guys over here, just a fantastic group. Been at it for a long time and always welcoming more to come in and race. I think for this series, they're asking for somebody from like out of the rookie class of a D license all the way up to an A. Do not want pro drivers, so they want to keep the playing field kind of equal over here, which I applaud them for doing that. So hope to see more guys come over here and take part in the 305s. This is going to be a great time, and we're just, tickled to death to come out here every Friday night to HAR. Probably one of the more fun races we can do with coming out with these guys each and every week. So just waiting for our heat racing lineups to get up on the board now, and just waiting for those to come in, the heat race, lineups, the distance and whatnot, and we'll get to the fun of counting laps out here, which is always a great time. So with 13 drivers, this shouldn't take far too long as we're approaching the 8 o'clock hour and what is going to be an electric night for us here on Full Velocity TV. If you're just tuning in here, well, you have found the right place to be over here at HAR Motorsports at the legendary Knoxville Raceway. We were here one night ago with the Gobbler 100. If you have not gone back and checked out that broadcast, we absolutely just invite you to do so. That was a great time. We're back here at Knoxville tonight with the 305 sprint cars at HAR, and then we're going to take the quick trip through helicopter, and we're going to find our way to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, paying a trip to the guys over at the Independent Online Racing League for the 9th version of their Indianapolis 500K coming up here just around 9 o'clock. So we got a lot of racing in store, waiting for this one to kind of get moving along as we're now through qualifications, just waiting on the heat lineups, and believe we are ready to go. Heat racing lineups are going to be posted. They are going to be 8 laps in length. I believe we're going to get 2 and maybe 3 of the heat races out there. I see the chat starting to light up, so we may see a lineup here, Todd, coming in rather quickly. When it does, we'll be sure to take it out there, and we'll get ready, set to go for 8 laps of racing here, get heat races in the books.
Yeah, I see some of these guys starting to line up, like the number 19 machine of Shane Kelly. Shane Kelly out there, the 29 machine in line. That's Rick Gibson, the 60 of Neff out there. Brian Neff in the number 60, the 15 machine. Also getting lined up. I believe that's a 115 machine, of Eric Tupper. Just waiting to see these guys finally get into the line. Right now we have 5 cars in line. I do believe they're calling for one more car to get into line fill. I could be wrong. They may be running maybe they're running 3 heat races here tonight. 8 laps is the distance here. These guys are already rolling out onto the speedway.
Oh, and this one's going to be coming hot and heavy as I see the picture, the screenshot come in. Let's click on this and tell you what we got for a heat race lineup. On the pole for heat number 1 will be car number 19. That is going to be Shane Kelly, and alongside of him in the 33 is Torrin Schertz. Row number 2 on the inside, the 60 is Brian Neff. The 29 car rolling off from P4. 29 is our fast time tonight. That is Rick Gibson. And rounding out the field in heat number 1 is going to be the 115 of Eric Tupper. So we got 5 drivers on the racetrack. We are going to have 3 heat races. They are going to be 8 laps in length. Keep an eye on that quick qualifier. The 29 of Rick Gibson. He's going to come from position number 4. 8 laps around. I think we're already going to be ready to race here as they get up to turn 4. They are on it. We're under green here for 8 laps.
Yeah, under green flag conditions coming down here into turn number 1. It's the number 19 of Shane Kelly leading the way. The number 33 of Torrin Schertz up on the top side of the speedway, the top shelf, trying to make a move around the 19 of Shane Kelly. Kelly right now holding on to that top spot, but these guys are pretty close together. 305 sprint cars, open setups. So look at the 29 of Rick Gibson all over these guys right directly in front of him. But Gibson now up to the second spot in the number 20. Going to take challenges here to Shane Kelly. 33 to Torrin Schertz. Looks like he's going to drop back to third, but he's not going to go away so fast there, Phil. Coming down the front straightaway, Schertz up on the top side. Down on the bottom, it's Gibson. Slide job by the number 29 machine. He tries to pull a little bit of a high line move here, trying to get around the 19 of Shane Kelly. Did not have the momentum.
No, did not. Shane's got that middle side of the racetrack working beautifully off of turn number 2. We've got to put 3 laps of 8 to the board there as Rick Gibson has come from that 4th position, now drifting up to the high lane past Torrin Schertz is number 33. Rick Gibson going to try to chase down Shane Kelly into turn number 3. Believe this time around there, Todd, halfway home in heat race number 1. Shane Kelly out front, Rick Gibson currently second. Look at that, number 33 of Torrin Schertz, obviously torn out there in like a modified, sometimes a street stock. Never before have I seen him in a sprint car. He's got that thing rolling. He's locked in a good battle for third between himself and Eric Tupper's 115 trying to break to the inside.
Eric Tepper trying to go down to the bottom side here in that 115. Machine side by side with Torrance Hurts through corners 1 and off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Nice battle going on for the lead. Also, the number 19 has it. The number 29 of Gibson wants it. He's trying to roll the top side of the speedway. And the 29 as he comes down and flash by that start finish line. Give that lap that time by to Rick Gibson and that number 29 machine still side by side with the 19 of Shane Kelly.
Kelly down there in the bottom, but Gibson's got the horsepower up high. He completes the pass into turn number 3. Gibson to the lead, put Kelly back to the second spot. Schertz in third. Fourth spot is Eric Tupper, and our 5th driver out there is the number 60 of Brian Neff, currently 5th. So it is Rick Gibson up front, but here comes Shane Kelly knocking on the door into turn 3 and 4. I believe this time, I think it's white flag going up to the speedway. Going to be one more trip around, or maybe that was a checker. Looks like that car came out of the throttle, did Rick Gibson. So I think Rick going to take down the win here in heat race number 1. Give Shane Kelly in for second, Torrance Hurts third, Eric Tupper fourth, Brian Neff going to round out your top 5. So that's how they're going to conclude here in heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 about to roll to a speedway, and this is how they will come to post. On the pole is going to be the 17 of Brett Rolls with the 111 of Cody McKnight parked up alongside. Run number 2, the 86 is Derek Fedkenhauer, and the 81 of Joey Lamb make up our 4 cars going to be out there for heat race number 2. That is 4 really good names out there: Rolls, McKnight, Fedkenhauer, and Lamb. I think this one is going to be a lot of fun to watch for 8 laps around, just waiting and waiting for these guys to take to the speedway for their 8 laps of heat racing action. So believe that's what I got here listed for the heat race of heat number 2. Heat race number 3's got 4 more drivers ready to get at it for 8 laps. So just waiting and waiting for these guys to pull their way out of the pit area. So just got to thank you guys once again tuning in tonight here live on Full Velocity TV, the 305 Sprint Car Series, race number 1 of the season here for HAR Motorsports. We are going to be here every Friday night here for a couple of weeks. Pay attention to the full calendar of events on our page, and you'll be locked and loaded in right here live every Friday night with 305 Sprint Car Racing action. Looking up front here, Brett Rolls, Cody McKnight. These are all guys at HAR, Todd. We've got so accustomed to seeing in a street stock. To see these guys out there in a 305, it just feels strange, but it's going to get awfully familiar because I think we have 13 of this race on the docket. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's see what Brett Rolls and Cody McKnight do at this field. They're coming off of turn number 4. They're going to get into the throttle pedal. Green flag up in the air. We are underway for 8 more laps of racing in the 305 sprints. Brett Rolls is going to break out to the lead there with Cody McKnight running there closely in tow in the second spot. A drag race down the back straightaway, but it is Brett Rolls. He leads with that 17 there in turn 3.
Apologize for the stream judder here, still going on here at Full Velocity TV, working behind the scenes, trying to announce at the same time. Sometimes that's not a good combination, but the 17 of Brett Rolls still leading this event. Cody McKnight still running second. Third is the 81 of Joey Lamb, trying to make some headway here, trying to catch the 111 machine of McKnight. McKnight down here into the corner, still running in second, but Lamb starting to reel him in.
Yep, Lamb is on the prowl. It's down about 4 car lengths. So these 305s, that just seems like such a big advantage. Brett Rolls leading the field into turn number 3. Going to put 3 laps of 8 on the board. Brett Rolls from the pole trying to go coast to coast here in heat race number 2. Cody McKnight right now is in for second. Joey Lamb trying to chase him down for third. You know who looks uncomfortable out there tonight? Derek Fedkenhauer, a guy who we see a lot in the street stocks, always competitive, out there in a 305 there tonight. Derek just learning laps, having to learn the race car. And when you jump on one of those big full-fendered race cars there, Todd, jump into one of these little 305 sprint cars, that is a completely different feel. Derek Fedkenhauer, a great race car driver, we know that. Having to learn a new way of the land out there in these very light, very small, very fast 305 sprint cars. All right, so Todd is down at work here. We are halfway home in heat number 2. Brett Rolls out with the lead. The race now is for that second spot. Cody McKnight up high. Here comes Joey Lamb's 81 down to the low side. Does he have the whole shot maneuver there? He gets a little bit loose off of turn number 4, drives it all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find all that momentum. Looks like it may have upset the run just a little bit. Now McKnight into the wall. McKnight ramping up the outside wall. That'll lose position there to the second spot to Joey Lamb. think McNutt probably may have pooped his britches there off of turn number 4 as or turn 2 as that car got up in the air. That is something you never, ever, ever want to do. But that was a wild ride there. He come down, probably had to compose himself a little bit. But Brett Rolls continues to lead the way here. I believe this time around, I think we're going to see white flag out to the field. Maybe that was it. That was checkered flag. I think they shorten these down to about 6 laps here for heat race action. Brett Rolls taking down the win over Joey Lamb, Cody McKnight, and the number 86 car of Derek Fedkenhauer. So 2 of 3 of heat races in the book. We're going to roll into heat race number 3. This is how they will go to post here. On the pole is going to be car number 15. That is Charles Hayes, and alongside in the fast number 5 car being Stephen Gregory. Row number 2, the 68 of Ron Piles, and shotgun on the field will be the 56 of Brett Wheeler. So 4 more drivers ready to get after it. I believe they have shortened this down to, 6 laps because, these cars are a whole lot faster than I give them credit for, or I've just kind of completely forgotten how to count. That could certainly be the way because we've established here, if you're a new listener to Full Velocity TV, a new viewer, it's been established for the 5+ years Todd and I have been doing this. Make us count laps. It's usually just not a good idea. So we're just waiting for these guys to roll out to the Speedway, take their place upon this legendary half-mile Knoxville Raceway, and we'll get these guys set and go for 8 more high-flying laps around the Knoxville Raceway. We still have 1 more heat. We're going to roll into our dash and then our 25-lap A-main coming up here in just a little while, as Todd has been down there working hard, getting feverishly done here. This little stream jitters out here. It has been a long week for us. We have put the equipment through the ringer. The new mod here tonight with the sprint cars going over to the Indy cars a little bit later on. There's a lot going on in that trailer here tonight, and we're just very thankful that you guys are starting the evening hanging out with us over here at the Knoxville Raceway. The field in turn number 3, waiting to come to the green flag. Charles Hayes, number 15, Stephen Gregory in the 5 there on the outside, flanking him. Keep an eye on Piles in that number 68. Brett Wheeler's 56. They are on it. We are green flag racing, and right away, look at that jump up front. That the number 15 car of Hayes gets that white car like a bullet down the back straightaway. It is a good 3-car race for that second spot now between the 5 of Gregory, Piles, the number 68. Brett Wheeler's car on the high side. He's got that thing rolling. Wheeler now up to P3. Todd, all systems are going down there in the booth? All right, well, let Todd keep working down there. We'll carry heat racing action here for HAR. Brett Wheeler starting to make his way to the field. He's been around Ron Piles, and now here comes that very fast number 56. He's to the low side. We're going to start throwing a little bit of a slide job down the back straightaway as Gregory shot up high there. It's Piles there. Piles of the 68 there running for the second spot. So Wheeler versus Piles off of turn number 4. I believe this is 4 laps already going up on the board, but it is a coronation right now for Charles Hayes in the number 15, as he has just been on it here from the get-go here tonight, getting the pole in heat race number 3. And now as they hit turn number 3, can Brett Wheeler chase down that number 15 of Hayes, who has just been ultra fast here in Knoxville tonight? I believe that's 2 to go there at the line, 2 to go here at the Knoxville Raceway. 2 more trips around for that number 15 of Charles Hayes. He is in turn number 3. Looks like this one has kind of settled itself out. Brett Wheeler comfortably there in second. Piles running third. Stephen Gregory in for 4th in car number 5. Believe we have white flag on the Speedway here. 1 more trip around, and looks like relatively unchallenged. It's going to be the 15 of Charles Hayes off of turn number 4. Wheeler trying to run him down. He's chased that interval down, but not going to be enough, as it is going to be Charles Hayes in for the win here in heat race number 3 over Brett Wheeler and Ronald Piles. 4th place car is going to be the 5 of Stephen Gregory. So maybe I was a little bit too soon there. Maybe this one off of 4. This will be the checkered flag lap for sure. Checkered in the air now. That is officially going to give the win to the number 15 car of Hayes. Put Wheeler in for 2nd, Piles in for 3rd. And rounding out your top 4 out here in the 4th heat race will be that number 5 of Stephen Gregory. So these guys still on it out of turn number 4. I guess we just completely forgot how to count laps because I thought they were coming out of it there. They stop on the break now. So what I thought was white and checker, well, it was actually 2 to go. So We're doing great there, Todd. I'm sinking like hell up here. How we doing down there at Boothland? I see we got a little bit of jitter, and I know you're working hard out there. I know everybody out there appreciating what you're doing, going through down in the booth right now.
Yeah, still working on it, Phil. Feverishly working on it. Not sure why it's doing what it's doing. Internet connection's good, PC is good, but it's still red. So I'm thinking Facebook right now. I'm not sure 100% what's going on. Still working on a few things to see if I can get it working, and hopefully we can make it a little bit better. Maybe a system reboot, but the computer's been off all day. It's rested. It had a long night last night, but it still should be fine, Phil. So still working on it.
All right, we'll let Todd keep working on that. Hopefully get that thing all righted out here. We're live on Full Velocity TV with HAR Motorsports. We got our season debut for the 305 Sprint Cars here. We are live on the racetrack, just waiting for more of that good stuff to come in. A 6-lap dash coming your way. And it looks like dash lineup has just been sent over to us. So let's click to the dash lineup. On the polls, I try to make this a little tad bit bigger. Looks like that's going to be the 29 of Rick Gibson on the pole, with the 17 car of Brett Rolls, the number 15 car of Charles Hayes, with the 19 of Shane Kelly running out here for. Starting 5th in the dash is going to be the 81 car of Joey Lamb and the 56 of Brett Wheeler. So the top two from the heat races advance to the 6-lap dash. We are already green flag racing for 6 laps, and right away it is Rick Gibson out to the race lead in the 29. Brett Rolls right there in tow with that number 17. Look at the run in the turn number 3 is I think it's iRacing that's having the issue here tonight there, Todd, as I have cars jumping all over the screen on my end as well. But all I can tell you is Gibson's out there with the lead. Brett Rolls right there in for second. The race for second spot really good between himself and I believe is that the Shane Kelly car, number 19 up ahead there. That's Charles Hayes, number 15. Number is really small, but Hayes has got it rolling in the top shelf. It's about 3 car lengths into turn number 1 over the number 29 car of Rick Gibson. Hayes in for second. The race is now for third between, so trying to read these numbers on the screen, is the race for third is Shane Kelly, the 19, the 17 of Brett Rolls. They are out side by side into turn number 3. Give that battle right now to Kelly. Rolls has his hands full to the inside. Here comes Brett Wheeler in the 56. Put Brett up down to that 4th spot. They're going to throw a slider there as Rolls back down to the inside. I believe this is 2 to go here in our 6-lap dash. 2 more trips around for our race leader, the number 29 of Rick Gibson. Right now it is Charles Hayes up into the 2nd spot, trying to chase him down. Brett Wheeler's in there for third, or Shane Kelly third, rather, as they work their way now off with her number 4. I believe this is white flag. White flag on the 6-lap dash. Rick Gibson going to have 1 more trip around the Knoxville Raceway as they hit turn number 3. Does Hayes have anything left? He'll try down to the inside. He makes it a car length there at the line. Score it to Rick Gibson at the line with Charles Hayes. Shane Kelly in for third. 4th spot, it looks like it's going to belong to the number 17 of Brett Rolls, the 81 of Joey Lamb, and the 56 of Brett Wheeler, with the hiccups there off of turn number 4. So I believe it's a checkered flag at the line. Rick Gibson going to pick up your win here in our 6-lap dash with Hayes second, Shane Kelly in for third. So this should do it here off of turn number 4 as these guys slam down to what I thought was going to be, they're going to head toward pit road. No, still the gas pedal. So that I forgot how to count laps here tonight. Things happening quick. Todd trying to work down there. I got the names. The paperwork is flying, but 6 laps of dash, it's gone right by. Rick Gibson showing his really good speed here in Knoxville. He takes down the win in our 6-lap dash, and that's going to take us here in a couple of seconds over to our 25-lap main event for the 305 Sprint Car. So I'm going to take a quick break, get myself a little drink of water here, but we are going to throw this thing trackside to honor this great nation, the United States of America, and the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As we go ahead and thank the sponsors that we had last night, didn't get enough to thank those guys, but they also sponsor HAR Motorsports. They sponsor Ron Piles. That's iRacing, iFlag. So we're going to go ahead and thank the iRacing, iFlag guys for sponsoring Ron Piles and sponsoring a lot of the sim racing community here with playing of their video here. As we continue to reset our controls, I believe we are a lot smoother than we were before, and as soon as I say that, we're not. So we're going to send it to another video before A-Main racing time.
Green flag, everybody.
I want to be a wreck behind you, give me a wreck behind you.
So I don't know what to do.
Somebody put oil down. We're hurting the fence.
Are they flagging it? White flag. Clear. Man, this is it, check a flag.
All right, we are back here at the Knoxville Raceway, getting ready to go for a 30-lap feature event for the guys at HAR Motorsports here for 305 sprint car racing action. And we are getting set to go here for tonight's starting lineup. On the pole will be car number 29. Our quick time tonight was set by Rick Gibson, and on the outside, the 15 is Charles Hayes. Row number 2 on the inside, the 19 is Shane Kelly with the 17 of Brett Rolls alongside. Third row, the 81 is Joey Lamb with the 56 of Brett Wheeler alongside. Rolling off from position number 7 will be the 33 of Torrin Shirts with the 86 of Derek Fedkenhauer alongside him. Rounding out our top 10, the 68 car is Ron Piles with the 115 of Eric Tupper, the 111 of Cody McKnight, the 5 of Stephen Gregory, and the number 60 of Brian Neff. So 15 drivers are here for our 30-lap main event. You guys are locked and loaded right here in the right place, live on Full Velocity TV. It's been a pretty quick flying night here in the 305s as the Mott Green has come out to the racetrack, and it's going to allow these guys now about a lap, maybe 2, to put themselves in their proper starting alignment. And it is going to set sail for what is advertised a 30-lap main event here tonight. It is going to roll away as 32 on your screen, so we will run away with 32 laps as our official count, and they're working their way into turn number 3. Believe this time they will get 1 to go on the field. Rick Gibson bringing his way to the front with Charles Hayes, the number 15, going to be alongside that second row. Keep an eye on the number 19 car of Shane Kelly, the 17 Brett Rolls has been fast. Brett Wheeler's 56 has been impressive. Joey Lamb, anytime Joey gets into a server, look out for him. You got to pay attention to guys like Torrin Shirts rolling off of P7. Look out for the 68 of guys like Ron Piles in the show. You got heavy-hitting names in the back at street stock reps like Derek Fedkenhauer and Brian Neff. You got Cody McKnight back there with Stephen Gregory. This is going to be a great night. Also, 115 of Eric Tupper starting deep in the field. I think Eric's going to have something to say before this one is out, too, rolling off from position number 8. So off of turn number 4, I believe this is going to be for the money. We're going to see Green Flag Racing. Rick Gibson going to lead the field. He is on it. We're Green Flag Racing here at Knoxville.
Green Flag Racing down into turn number 1. It's the 29 of Rick Gibson showing the quick way around here already. 19 of Shane Kelly down on the bottom side. He's trying to chase down that number 15 machine of Hayes. Hayes in the 15. He is running in that second spot. Brett Rolls still running third. So it looks like the 19 of Shane Kelly not able to get by. Rolls there. He's going to settle into position number 4.
Kelly back to 4th, rolls up to P3. It's Rick Gibson. He hasn't really been challenged all night long of that 29. He stretches it out down the back stretch of 2 car lengths, but here comes Charles Hayes. He's going to beat up to the backside of him. Gibson with his best challenge of the night. Hayes cuts it down the 3 car lengths. He rides the middle lane. They're working through 1 and 2.
Yeah, Charles Hayes trying to track down that number 29 machine of Gibson. He's been fast qualifier. He won the dash. He won his heat race. He's trying to pull the quadruple here tonight, Phil. He's doing a fantastic job here in that 29 machine. Here comes Brett Wheeler way down on the bottom side. He's trying to make something happen. He's trying to get around Shane Kelly down through turn 1 and 2, down the back straightaway, still pulling up alongside of Kelly here into turn number 3. Down on the bottom is Brett Wheeler in that 56 UDTV sponsored machine trying to take over 4th.
Yeah, Brett Wheeler's got that thing rolling to the inside. Looks like he may pick up Kelly there. No room to make the slide jump. Brett Rolls having to play a little defense racing for 3rd. Kelly stuck in the middle. Wheeler down low running for that 4th spot. Great 3-car battle for that position. Number 3 is there off of turn number 4. All chasing Rick Gibson up front. Charles Hayes right there in for 2nd, trying to find running room up high. We already have 8 laps to the board. This time around, 9 of our 32 are going to be in the books. We're 1/3 the way home already here at Knoxville.
Yeah, 1/3 the way home already here in Knoxville. Here comes Hayes down to the bottom side, and then number 15 machine side by side with the 29 and Gibson. His best challenge of the evening is coming from the number 15 machine here in the feature event, the A feature here in Knoxville. Here comes the 15 again, pulling right up behind the number 29 machine. Not able to get by Gibson. But I tell you what, that 15 of Hayes a little bit faster, a smidget faster with an 18.210 last time by, with an 18.230 for the number 29 of Gibson. So Gibson right now not going to run away and hide, but the top 2 are starting to break away.
They really are. They're running away from the field. That 3rd place running car number 19 of Shane Kelly. Brett Rolls up there in third, rather. Eric Tupper's worked his way into the top 5, currently running 4th. He's made his way around Shane Kelly. Does Eric Tupper have something to say about Brett Rolls up in front of him? I knew Tupper coming from 8th was going to be a player. He's chasing down Brett Rolls. It's 2 car lengths over the 17 as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, a lot of these guys want to win on Full Velocity TV. Most of these guys, Phil, participated in the Gobbler last night here in Knoxville. Way different field here tonight. Tupper slide job on the 17 of Brett Rolls. Put the 115 machine of Eric Tupper to third. Not so fast, says Rolls. He's down to the bottom. He pulls a slider of his own. Tupper trying to do a high-low switch, and he's not going to be able to do so down the back straightaway. But I almost guarantee you there's going to be another slider coming up in his near future.
Well, I was about to put the steak and the chicken on hold, but we don't going to do that quite yet. We got sliders starting to melt here in Knoxville. We got that 17 of Brett Rolls up there racing for third. Tupper and that number 115 up high. Now lead change up front. Charles Hayes to the top side of Rick Gibson. He's circling his way around the top shelf. But Charles Hayes to the lead off of turn 4 on lap number 15.
And Charles Hayes in that number 15 machine able to be out front. Is second right now is Rick Gibson. Gibson now in a different predicament here of the evening. We've not seen Gibson run in second here all evening long. Great battle going on for that third spot. Meanwhile, the 19 also into the fray. 19 is being driven by Shane Kelly. The 17 and the 115 are side by side for that third spot. His Tupper cannot get the momentum. Got a wee bit loose. Looks like his tires broke a little bit of traction. That's going to put him back behind Shane Kelly. Here comes Wheeler again, the 56 machine. Looks like he ran it in pretty deep and hot and heavy. He's going to drift up the track, leave the door back wide open for Eric Tupper. Tupper's around the 56 machine. So right now, there's some pretty good battles going on throughout the field, Phil.
Well, we talked about Knoxville last night in a street stock, Todd. They called that Talladega, but you got these things in a 305 completely wide open. How do those two cars compare? I mean, of course, the sprint car is a whole lot lighter, but you're down just as much on the power. You really got to throw these things in there. And we called last night a Talladega field, but I think it's going to feel even more sensitive than that when you get out here in one of these lightweight sprint cars. What do you think?
Sprint cars maybe are a tick faster than your street stock